Yes, welcome back from that short break, and we are back with more updates concerning the Malawi Stock Exchange. It's me, Gloria, once again, together with
Victor Chiveru.
Exactly. Now we have a lot to dissect concerning the trading day on the Malawi Stock Exchange. So rather, let's dive straight into it, Victor.
So, of course, it is a pleasure to discuss these latest movements on the Malawi Stock Exchange. And to begin with the numbers on the trading day, on the previous trading day, we saw 212,478 shares traded. And of course, these changed hands within the Malawi Stock Exchange with a corresponding market value of 107,427,930.24. It is intriguing actually to note that while there was an 11% decline in volume compared to the previous trading day, there was a remarkable 68% improvement within the turnover.
That's right, Victor. And these numbers actually indicate that despite the low volume of shares traded, the overall value exchanged on the market increased significantly. And it's essential to dive deeper into the facts driving these trends on the market.
Of course.
Yeah.
And these numbers, of course, talking about numbers, current market capitalization of Malawi Stock Exchange still stands at what exactly? At
6.23 trillion. That's where our figure stands, and this represents the total value of all the stocks listed on the exchange, giving us a sense of the market size and its significance.
Well, of course, as she has stated, the market capitalization still stands at 6.23. Moving on to the stocks, the individual stock performances of the 9 Malawi Stock Exchange listed companies that participated in the trading day, of course, on a disappointing note that 4 ended in the day in red. And of course, discussing those stocks first, we want to talk about Telecom Networks, Malawi, that took the biggest hit, as well as which saw actually a 0.03% share price depreciation. Following closely, we have National Insurance Company Holdings and the FDH Bank, both of which saw a 0.01% drop in their share prices.
Exactly, and we heard National Bank of Malawi that was relatively stable compared with the rest, and with no change in its share price, apparently. So while there were no gainers on this trading day, it's crucial to keep an eye out on the losers.
Obviously.
Exactly, and now let's turn our attention to the stocks that do the most attention in terms of trading volume.
Well, the stock that captured the most attention today was the FMB Capital Holdings, with a volume of 126,091 traded shares. Following closely, we have the NBS Bank with 29,385 shares, as well as the National Bank of Malawi with 23,544 shares. We have Ilovo Sugar with 8,911 shares.
Interesting, and these trading volumes provide valuable insights into which stocks are drawing more closely to the investors.
Certainly.
Exactly. So let's analyze the performance of the Malawi Stock Exchange market indices.
Well, of course, the benchmark of the Malawi All-Share Index experienced a slight decline at 115,430.36 points over the past week. The Malawi All-Share Index recorded a loss of 2.84%, and while over the past 4 weeks it saw a 3.48% decline. But however, the year-to-date performance remains robust with a gain of 86.07%.
It's actually interesting and fascinating to see how these indices fluctuate over different time frames.
Yes.
And additionally, we should mention the Malawi Foreign Share Index and Malawi Domestic Share Index, which provide insights into the specific market segments.
Yes, of course. And of course, each of these indices have unique characteristics that can help other investors to make informed decisions based on their investment preferences. And of course, this is exactly what I was talking about with the Nigerian Stock Exchange. The way they segment these indices provides a lot of options for most investors so that they make decisions. Of course.
Okay, that was all that we had from the Malawi Stock Exchange. Now we'll be giving you updates concerning the Ghana Stock Exchange. We have a lot to discuss concerning the Ghana Stock Exchange actually, as of the trading day, Monday, 9th October.
Well, of course, it is great to analyze the latest developments. And of course, diving right into it, beginning with numbers as the most important part. On the trading day, we observed a total of 20,544 shares changing hands on the Ghana Securities Exchange with a corresponding market value of 33,063.11. Interestingly, we noticed an 88% decline in the volume compared to the previous day and an 80% decline within the turnover.
Interesting. And when it comes to the significant declines and moving on to the market capitalization, obviously, in the Ghana Stock Exchange, it currently stands at 73.9 billion. What do you think of this, Victor?
I feel like this figure, of course, represents the total value of the stock listed, of the stocks listed on the exchange. And of course, it gives you and I a very broad understanding of the market size and importance.
Compared to the other exchanges, what do you have to say about Ghana's market capitalization? Ghana's market capitalization.
Well, I feel like it's impressive because actually I know it is impressive because 73.9 billion is a rather large number. As we have seen, all the other, we have stock exchanges that are in trillions, but let's not give a side eye to the currency value. So as per the currency of Ghana as it stands, 73.9 billion is a remarkable value.
Exactly, and now looking at the notable gainers from this trading day, we had around 17 Ghana Stock Exchange listed equities that participated in the trading day, while we had Republic Bank of Ghana actually that first 7.41 share price depreciation.
It's indeed notable that Republic Bank of Ghana experienced a significant decline in its share price. It would be interesting actually to investigate the factors behind this particular movement. But it is also worth highlighting that the majority of the listed companies remain stable.
Exactly, and it's always intriguing actually to understand what's driving this movement, as we all know. Now, when we look at a closer look at the stocks that attracted the most attention in terms of trading volume, one that captured the most attention was actually Republic Bank of Ghana, with a volume of around 11,820 traded shares. And this was followed by MTN Ghana, as usual. MTN Ghana with around 3,423 shares, EcoBank Ghana with around 2,500 shares, and Total Energies Marketing Ghana with 670 shares, Victor.
Well, of course, we can't avoid to highlight the performance of Republic Bank of Ghana. And we are noticing that all these other equities are they're in one position, they're not moving. As much as we love to see a fluctuating market, we also hate to see a crashing market.
Exactly.
And this market is not crashing, but we still want to see it move. But the fluctuation with Republic Bank of Ghana is not impressive at all. And we will really try our best to give you deeper insights on this particular equity's performance and the reasons as to why it had to make that move.
Exactly, and looking at the benchmark indices of the Ghana Stock Exchange, we have the composite index that experienced a slight decline, closing at around 3,136.86 points. And over the past week, the composite index recorded a loss of 0.48%, while over the past 4 weeks it saw a gain of 2.12%. But however, how did the year-to-date performance go with this index?
Well, of course, the year-to-date performance remains strong, and that is very much influenced by the rarity of fluctuation within this particular stock exchange. And of course, it still stands at 28.35%.
35%. So actually, it's really important to note the market indices because they reflect the overall performance of the exchange. And the investors, you have to closely watch out for these ones. Additionally, we have to mention the Ghana Securities Exchange Financial Stocks Index, which focuses on the financial sector stocks, actually, Victor.
Well, of course, we have to mention the financial stocks index, and this, of course, as you've said, its focus is on the financial sectors. But we saw that the Ghana Securities Exchange Financial Stocks Index had a decrease of 0.3%. to 1,938.01 points. So over the past week, it recorded a gain of 2.53%, and over the past 4 weeks, it saw an impressive gain of 9.82%. However, the year-to-date period of course, still indicates a loss of 5.58%. So, of course, these indices provide investors with valuable information, a lot of valuable information about how different sectors within the market are performing.
So, Victor, as my other fellow investor, when you look at the performance on the Ghana Securities Exchange, would you put your eggs again in one exchange?
Certainly not. But, of course, I want to keep on highlighting that we love a fluctuating market, but we hate, we love a fluctuating market, but there is no problem with a market that is not showing any kind of depreciation movement, because it is still assurance that your money as an investor is still in one place. You'd rather get the exact amount of money you put into your investment than actually losing everything. So I feel like this is kind of a safe haven for people that are trying to avoid risk, but rather we want to see our money multiply. So we want to see it go places. So of course, this is a market for someone that is just looking to save money, no offense. But of course, as investors, we know that everyone has their own different ways of handling market and investment, and of course, calculating how they're going to earn returns from any of these taken decisions. So of course, that may be my opinion, but of course, Gloria, you might have your own approach, and anyone else. So of course, we still want to highlight that financial analysis remains immensely diverse.
Exactly, and there's something that's been going on whereby markets were actually struggling to access the impact of the war in Israel. And as well, we know this has been the talk of the dead ever since we had this going on. And it's me, Gloria, again with Victor, so we're diving into this. So the war in Israel actually has had ripple effects that are being felt across various sectors, actually, and it's causing quite the stir in the U.S. bond market too.
Well, of course, that is right, because looking at the U.S. stock market, we have seen it has been showing some positive momentum, with the Dow Jones surging by nearly 200 points. But looking at the index experienced a significant uptick of 0.59%.
Exactly.
So, of course, it settled at 33,604.65. Meanwhile, the Nasdaq witnessed a rise of 0.39%, reaching at 13,484.24. And the S&P 500, or the Standard & Poor, followed suit, gaining 0.63%, and to conclude at 4,335.66. These gains, of course, indicate positive sentiment among investors today.
Yes, actually, the markets seem to be responding rather positively.
It's surprising,
and taking a closer look at the stocks that have caught the attention of the retail traders investing today, we have Lockheed Martin Corporation, or normally known as LMT. Lockheed Martin closed at a day with around 8.93% increase, settling around $436.53.
Well, of course, that is quite a significant gain for the Lockheed Martin. But the stock hit an intraday high of $436.6 US dollars and a low of $426.39. It's worth noting that that is quite a surge in the Lockheed Martin's shares, and of course it comes amid the ongoing Middle East conflict, which often leads to an increase in attention on defense stocks.
Absolutely, Victor. And the defense companies often see heightened interest from investors during times of geopolitical uncertainty, in this case, the Israel war. So Lockheed Martin's 52-week performance actually has ranged between around $508 and this is like a low of around like $388.1.
Certainly. But next on our list we have Unity Software Inc., also known as Unity Software's stock experienced a slight decline of 1.49%, closing at $29.7 US dollars.
And Unity Software has actually had an intraday of around $29.8 and a low of $28.95. Yeah, so this decline follows the company's announcement in a CEO transition, and with John Reseda stepping down as James appointed as the interim president and CEO.
Well, of course, leadership changes. And of course, these leadership changes can often have an impact on the stock prices as investors assess the potential of the potential implications for companies' future directions. But Unity Software's 52-week performance saw a high of $50.08 US dollars and a low of $21.22 US dollars. And
moving to Delta Airlines, we had trading like we had Delta Airlines that faced decline of around 4.65% and closing at $35.28.
This drop in Delta stock is actually a very notable one. And the airline has had an intraday high of $35.79 US dollars and a low of $34.69 US dollars. It is crucial to understand that Delta and other US airlines suspended flights to Israel amid the Israel-Hamas conflict, leading to travel uncertainty and a drop in the airline's stock. But of course, this had to happen because airlines depend a lot on the securities exchange, because most of these airlines operate on I'm looking for a term to use. They operate and pay after. That is the simplest way I can put it. So them investing in, they kind of work like banks. Them investing in these various financial instruments is how they generate money most of the time to support their operations. So of course a decision like this was bound to affect the airlines market at large.
Absolutely, and looking at the geopolitical events that can indeed have far-reaching consequences on the various industries, and airlines particularly are sensitive to such developments, like you said. So Delta's 52-week starts include a high of $49.81 and a low of $28.21.
So obviously, Gloria, moving forward to the next, we have Palantir Technologies Inc., trading as PLTR. So PLTR witnessed a 6.02% increase, closing at a 17.61%. I'm sorry, not percent, US dollars.
Yeah, and Palantir stock has had an intraday actually of around $17.83 and a low of $16.22. And amid the Middle East conflict, there is a heightened focus on security and surveillance, and leading to increased demand on Palantir's products.
So of course, Palantir's technology is known for its role in data analysis and security, making it a relevant player during times of geopolitical instability. The company's 52-week performance ranged from a high of 20.24 US dollars to a low of 5.92 US dollars. You know, it is actually, I was talking about the same thing with someone earlier this morning about how some of these geopolitical instabilities are kind of some of them might be triggered by these market players so that they can earn profits, especially for technology, surveillance, and armory companies. But that is just a mere thought, a mere statement.
Exactly. And lastly, we have Tesla, or Tesla Inc., and which is identified as TSLA. So Tesla stock experienced a slight decline of 0.33% and closing at $259.67.
So as of yesterday, Tesla had an intraday performance with a high of 261.36 US dollars and a low of 252.05 US dollars. So reports on sleeping cells of China-made EVs contributed to the stock's decline.
Exactly, and it's noteworthy that our Tesla stock remains in focus, not only for its electric vehicles, but also as a key player in the broader technology and clean energy sectors,
Obviously.
actually. So Tesla's 52-week high stood at around $299.29 and with a low of around $101.
So, of course, it is noteworthy. Of course, our coverage of the noteworthy stock movements related to the Israel-Hamas conflict are as they have been stated. And it is clear that the geopolitical events continue to play a significant role in shaping investor sentiment.
Absolutely, and we'll be coming back with more updates concerning how these markets have been affected from this Israel-Hamas war. So allow us to go for a short break. We'll be back with more insights. Is it Hamza?